Good morning. How's everyone out there doing today? I'm here with the marvelous Mel Kelly, author of these two fabulous books. And one of these books, that's right, the disastrous dating that Mel has had internationally. He got kicked out of Ireland, couldn't find a woman, had to move to Germany, couldn't even find a German woman. It's been a truly crazy adventure for Mel, and he's here to give you the worst advice ever on dating. Welcome, Mel Kelly.
Thank you so much, the amazing Amy Hamilton. It's a pleasure and privilege to be here with you, with the amazing author, Amy Hamilton, who's the author of these two amazing books, The Consummate Communicator and, of course, The Project Manager. And yes, it's a pleasure to be here with you today and to talk about this fantastic topic that we have today, which is, Amy?
We are going to be talking about mini breaks. I love mini breaks. It's so exciting. So spring is in the air. People are starting to travel. And often what that means is you are dating somebody. Maybe you've been courting for a while and you're ready to go on your first kind of weekend vacation. So, travel someplace exotic. And Mel is going to give us all of his bad dating tips on what to do on your first mini break to completely sabotage your relationship and epically fail.
Yeah. The best advice I can give you. I was watching on Netflix the other day, the Tinder swindler guy. You got to bring him on a date, bring him on a jet, bring him on a private plane on the very first date. Absolutely fantastic. The girls all fell in love with him. So this was the absolutely best way of doing it. The only problem is you need to have a private jet that you can bring them on and jet them off to. So first he met them in a hotel, and then they thought they were going to trying to seduce him to the room, but no, he didn't do that. He just said, let's go on a jet plane somewhere. And off they went on their instant holiday on the first date. Fantastic.
Okay, so Mal, for those of us who don't have jets, what's your advice? Go buy a jet, step A.
Well, he didn't have a jet either. He swindled it all. He was. That's why they called him the Tinder swindler. But certainly he brought the thing of going on holidays. He brought it to the next level. Not just on the after a couple of weeks or months. Oh, come on, how traditional is that? First date, bring him away on the private jet. There you go.
Okay, Mal. For us mere mortals. What other advice do you have when it comes to going for a mini break with somebody that you are interested in? Not the Tinder swindler, but you didn't just meet them. You've been going out for a while, and now you're going to go on your first mini break. It might even be your first overnight together.
Ooh.
Your first sleepover date. We did that a long time ago.
Oh my goodness! So you can't put them on the private jet. You've ruled out the private jet. I thought everybody had private jets. No.
Where's your private jet? If you had a private jet, we wouldn't have to do this all across the ocean. You could just send your private jet every weekend.
Exactly. So, what was the question again?
Now, focus.
Focus. There was a question and a distraction. Yeah, I got
You're particularly distracted. We're halfway through the segment and you haven't even talked about it. Yeah. So you're going on a mini break with somebody that you're interested in.
Yes.
And the question is when you're doing this, what is your bad advice?
Cycling break. Go on a cycling trip. So you go on a bicycle, cycle up a mountain, up and down a mountain. That is the best way to make sure you never see each other again.
Why do you say that?
Come on. Nice. You don't spend 2 days on a bicycle cycling up a mountain or cycling down a mountain. Oh my goodness, they see him suffering, and they'll see you in lycra shorts, and you'll see them in lycra shorts. And cycling outfits are not the most flattering, and they get a bit smelly after you've been sweating in them for a few hours. So it's not. Come on, it's. Where's the romance? Where's the perfume? Where's the flowers? It's certainly not going to find any of that in a cycling trip. So you want to kill your first, go on a cycling trip for 2 days.
So I think that the number one bad advice I would give is overpacking. So the opposite of that would be pack correctly. But I cannot tell you, and I am so guilty of this myself, it's but I don't know exactly what we're going to do. So I pack so much stuff. I have it looks like instead of going away for 4 days, leaving Friday, coming back Monday, it looks like I plan on moving in. And I know that's really, really bad advice. So my opposite is pack the right amount of stuff that you need.
Okay.
And I will tell you, one time I packed so much stuff, and then I didn't have like a bathing suit, and so then I still had to go buy a bathing suit, even though like I had like 20 billion changes of clothes. It was like the one thing I forgot, and I was like, oh, that was in a bag that didn't fit into the car, and it was just like. So don't overpack, ladies.
Don't
Like,
overpack. Okay. So don't do
recognize.
cycling. Cycling tip.
Oh wait, and there you go. Advice tip for the day.
What's that one?
It is, sure, I've got emotional baggage, but it's really cute and it matches, right? So, ladies, we know the deal with
Oh.
this, right?
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
When you go into your mini break with a new partner, and I heard this from a really good friend of mine once, she said, don't bring other people with you. And I was like, I don't know what that means. And she said, so often you get in the car, but you're bringing all the previous dates with you, and you're comparing this guy and you're holding him up to that, right? And all the good or the bad that other people have done, this guy is now the symbol of and representing. And you're like, whoa, you cannot put that pressure on one other human being. Like, get in the car only with that person.
Oh, that's very profound. I thought you meant go on a group date. Like, don't go on. Yeah.
Well, group dates can be good because they can help dispel it. Like when it's like two couples going, that can sometimes be easier, especially if people are already friends.
If they're already friends, it's easier. But if they don't know each other, it's a bit of a challenge, you know. So, but it's also as well, if you're getting to know the person, you're probably better off doing it by yourself. I must say, if you go in a group, then the group dynamic kicks in as well, and so maybe you end up liking somebody in the group more than your partner, or vice versa. So
I think like if you met through like another couple, that could be a good safety net.
Okay.
So like I've had that before, like where somebody introduced me to someone, and then like we went out, and it was kind of nice because then of course women do what we do, like we went to the bathroom and we're like, you know, and then the guys like got to go like golfing and do what they wanted, and like we did like spa time, and so it worked out really well. And not long term because the relationship didn't work out.
Well, there you go. You see, you're diluting the effect. I mean, you have to see, you go spend all that time alone with that person. I mean,
alone, completely alone.
I mean, it's a great way to kill a relationship, you know. This thing of spending time with each other, it's completely overrated. It's
there you go. Don't spend time with them completely. Always have other friends and stuff there, and it will extend the life of the relationship.
Yeah, spending time with people, it's completely overrated. It kills every relationship. You know, that's why long distance relationships last so long. You see so little of that person. You have so little chance to get annoyed with them. You have the fantasy you can build up in your head. So when you go on a weekend or a day trip or whatever, a lot of that fantasy you see gets peeled away.
Well, and it's also easy to keep it up for a weekend.
Mm-mm.
A weekend's a nice amount of time, whereas like a 2-week cruise, like in a confined space. Like I do know a couple that started dating early and they decided to do a cruise, and when they left the cruise, they were like, it was like a comedy show, like where she like called me up, was like, can you pick me up? I was like, of course I can, you know. And she's like, oh my gosh, do not ever do a cruise with somebody like that you've never even been on another holiday with.
What happened?
They got like in a disagreement, and then the disagreement kept like escalating, and then there was like no way to cool off because they're like in this tiny little cabin, right?
Okay.
And so it just, even though I think it was only like maybe a 4-day cruise or something, she's like, yeah, definitely go someplace like where you can go to like separate spaces, right? Because like a ship, even though cruise ships can be pretty big, I mean, they're not that big, you know, and you have to like there's no kind of getting away from it.
Okay.
And then there's no like, oh, well, this isn't going well, so I'm gonna have one of my friends say like there's an emergency and I have to go, right? Like you're just stuck there. And so
there's no escape route.
Yeah. Oh, so good advice, good bad advice. Go on the cruise for 2 weeks with somebody you barely know, off the private jet that you've absconded.
Go on a bike trip so you can see each other in Lycra. Very unflattering, smelly.
And that should be your day excursions. Every day excursion should be a bike trip off the ship. I think that would be like the ultimate nightmare of bad vacation.
I think that wraps it up. I think
the only thing worse would be taking your first mini break to Disney World with someone's entire family.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty horrific.
Your eyes, you just look like this is gonna keep you up at night, Mel Kelly. You're gonna be like,
that is just
oh,
horrific.
this is just not even.
You'd need therapy after that. That's going to be traumatic. You know, that's just.
You might as well go on the cruise with the Lycra day trips versus Disney World with someone's family.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you are so excellent at bad advice. And so, you know what we have planned for the next episode?
What do we got planned, Amy? We got something very
Nothing.
exciting planned.
No,
We have
we've got
something.
nothing planned.
I
Nothing
know.
planned.
That's the point.
Isn't that exciting? So, what we're asking is for our audience, can you give us in the comments ideas that you would like for our next show? So, we're going to do audience choice next time. That's our plan.
Absolutely. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. It's been great with you
Be
this
safe
week.
on those mini breaks.
And we look forward to seeing you all next